Shalom, shalom. I have tried to do this twice now. Let's do this again. Abba, Father, your will only. In the name of Yahusha Ha'Mashiach, let it be. I was sitting in the kitchen. I was canning. And at 6:20 p.m., I heard Yahusha start to speak. August 30th, that's today, 2024. He gave me Matthew 7, Lucas 12, and Hezon 17. That's Matthew 7, Luke 12, and Revelation 17. Okay. I am coming. I am even more speedily here. Can you understand where we are, my children? We are at the door. We are at the door of walking through without turning back. I am shedding you of your last bits of sins, my children. I am also revealing to you the hearts of many. I have removed them from your midst, and I need you, my 144,000, to rise. I know you feel me arising within you and causing a yearning within. And so this will overflow, and you won't be able to control your lips, as it is I that will take over and speak. Prepare yourselves. Much heartaches from those who you thought were your tribe, but I have revealed this to your face, so there is no doubt what you are up against. My children, my bride, my called out ones. Many of you are not reading your word daily. And I need you to go back to this. This is your infilling, your knowledge, your armor. Don't slack. You will need this infilling of my words. The washing and renewing is a reminder during these hard times, and it will get harder. The words "will get harder" are in all caps. So he's yelling, screaming this. Don't you worry, for you cannot add a single bit of lifespan by worrying. It actually does the opposite and causes you to lose precious time. Ask me to teach you and number your days. I have turned up the heat, and soon the sheep will be seen more clearer, as the goats will also be seen and known. Pray for your brethren. This is what you should be doing daily, praising me with your pure lips. Those who have come up against you will pay. Pray for them hard, because their end is bad and hot. Don't forget the widow, the orphan, and the fatherless. Become a father for them and love them. Put aside time daily to pray and do heavenly works. The pandemic is here. Many are dying. A pandemic of my word. Pray for their souls. Pestilence is increasing. Unrest and lawlessness is also. It says pray for the souls. Excuse me. Pestilence is increasing. Unrest and lawlessness is also. This will get worse. I need you, my 144,000. So be encouraged. Be strong. Wake up in the morning to greet me. And at night. I will show you individually what comes next. Be on guard. Open borders, rapine. Rapine means stealing. Rapes and murders are increasing. Be gentle as a dove and wise as a serpent. I will speak to you. So don't react quick. Stay still and know that I am Elohim. I am your Elohim. Your God. Melchizedek, Yahusha, I come. Okay. So we knew these times were going to get hard. Let's go to Matthew 7, Matthew 7. Do not judge, lest you be judged. For what judgment you judge, you shall be judged. And with the same measure you use, it shall be measured to you. And why do you look at the splinter in your brother's eye, but do not notice the plank in your own eye? Or is it that you say to your brother, let me remove the splinter out of your eye, and see, a plank is in your own eye? Hypocrite, first remove the plank from your own eye, and then you shall see clearly to remove the splinter out of your brother's eye. Do not give what is set apart to the dogs, nor throw your pearls before pigs, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn and tear you in pieces. Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and you shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it shall be opened. Or is there a man among you, who his son asks for bread, you shall give him a stone? Or if he asks for a fish, you shall give him a snake? If you then, being wicked, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more shall your Father, who is in the heavens, give what is good to those who ask him? Therefore, whatever you wish men to do to you, do also to them. For this is the Torah and the prophets, the law and the prophets. Enter into the narrow gate, because the gate is wide and the way is broad, that leads to destruction, and there are many who enter through it. Because the gate is narrow and the way is hard pressed, which leads to life, and there are few who find it. Did you hear that? The way is hard pressed. It is going to be extremely hard. And he just said he just cranked up the heat. So it's going to get harder. His won't fall. A righteous man falls 7 times, but it gets back up. While the wicked fall and they stay there till their death. That's in Proverbs. If you are his, and you are called by your name by him, and you are born from above and of water, you will make this stand up, stand tall, stand firm, and know that he loves you. Yahusha had to go through it too when he was here. He overcame the world. He gave us the keys. Now let's walk in his footsteps. But beware of the false prophets who come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are savaging wolves. And by their fruits you shall know them. Are grapes gathered from thorn bushes, or figs from thistles? So every good tree yields good fruit, but a rotten tree yields wicked fruit. A good tree is unable to yield wicked fruit, and a rotten tree to yield good fruit. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown into the fire. And so then, by their fruits you shall know them. Not everyone who says to me, Master, Master, shall enter into the reign of the heavens, but he who is doing the desire of my Father in the heavens. Many shall say to me in that day, Master, Master, have we not prophesied in your name, cast out demons in your name, and done many works in your name? And then I should declare to them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you who work lawlessness. Is murdering your neighbor lawlessness? Thou shalt love your neighbor as yourself. And if you fell for this, return. Repent and return. That's what he's asking. Speaking to all of us, including me. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and does them shall be like a wise man who built his house on the rock. And the rain came down, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it did not fall, for its foundation was on the rock. That's Yahusha. And everyone who hears these words of mine and does not do them shall be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. The rain came, the floods came, and the winds blew, and they beat on that house, and it fell. And how great was its fall? Because they were lawless. Because they didn't have a personal relationship with the Most High. And it came to be, when Yahusha had ended these words, that the people were astonished at his teaching, for he was teaching them as one possessing authority, and not as the scribes. Luke 12. Meanwhile, while there was an innumerable crowd of people, they had gathered together so that they trampled one another. They trampled one another. He began to say to his taught ones first, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is lies, added man traditions. And whatever is concealed shall be revealed, and whatever is hidden shall be known. So whatever you have said in the dark, it shall be heard in the light. And what you have spoken in the ear in the inner rooms shall be proclaimed on the housetops. But I say to you, my friends, do not be afraid of those who kill the body, and after are unable to do any more. But I shall show you whom you should fear. Fear the one who after killing possesses authority to cast into Gehenna. Yes, I say to you, fear him. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 copper coins, and not one of them is forgotten before Elohim? But even the hairs of your head have all been numbered. And do not fear, you are worth more than many sparrows. And I say to you, everyone who confesses me before man, the Son of Man shall confess before the messengers of Elohim. Sorry, I had to go inside because the mosquitoes are bad. And we have West Nile, Triple E, and sloth syndrome that is putting many people on respirators and dying. We have, I guess you can say they're lockdowns. They're not really enforcing them, but they're telling everybody they have to be in by 6. Pestilence. So, where was I? Even the hairs of your head have been numbered. So do not fear. You are worth more than many sparrows. And I say to you, everyone who confesses me before man, the Son of Man will confess him before the messengers of Elohim. But he that has denied me before men shall be denied before the messengers of Elohim. And everyone who shall speak a word against the Son of Man, it shall be forgiven him. But to him who has blasphemed against the set-apart Spirit, it shall not be forgiven. And when they bring you to the congregation and rulers of authorities, do not worry about how or what you shall answer or what you should say. For the set-apart Spirit shall teach you in that very hour what you should say. And someone from the crowd said to him, Teacher, speak to the brother to divide the inheritance with me. But he said to him, Man, who made me a judge or a divider over you? And he said to them, Mind and beware of greed, because one life does not consist in the excess of his possessions. He then spoke a parable to them, saying, The land of a certain rich man yielded well. And he was reasoning within himself, saying, What shall I do? Because I have no room to store my crops. And he said, I am going to do this. Pull down my storehouses and build greater, and store all my crops and my goods there. Then say to myself, Life, you have many goods laid up for many years. Take your ease, eat, drink, and rejoice. But Elohim said to him, You mindless one, this night your life shall be demanded from you. And who shall own what you have prepared? So is he who is storing up treasures for himself and is not rich toward Elohim. And he said to the taught ones, For this reason I say to you, do not worry about your life, what you shall eat, nor about the body, what you shall put on. The life is more than food, and the body is more than clothing. Look at the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which have neither storehouses nor granary, and Elohim feeds them. How much more valuable are you than the birds? And which of you, by worrying, is able to add 1 cubit of his lifespan? If you then are unable to do the least, why do you worry about the rest? Look at the lilies and how they grow. They neither toil nor spin. And I say to you, even Shalomah, in all the esteem, was not dressed like one of these. And if Elohim so clothes the grass, which today exists in the field and tomorrow is thrown into the furnace, how much more you, O you of little belief? Do not seek what you shall eat or what you shall drink, and do not keep worrying. For the nations of the world, for the nations of the world seek these, and your Father knows that you need these. But seek the reign of Elohim, and all shall be added to you. Do not fear, little flock, because your Father did delight to give you the rain. Sell your possessions and give in kindness. Make yourselves purses which do not grow old, a treasure in the heavens that does not fail, where no thief does come near nor moth destroys. For where your treasure is, there your heart shall be also. Let your loins be girded and your lamps burning. And be like men, waiting for their master, when he shall return from the wedding, that when he comes and knocks, they open to him immediately. Blessed are those servants whom the master, when he comes, shall find watching. Truly I say to you, that he shall gird himself and make them sit down to eat, and shall come and serve them. And if he comes in the second watch or in the third watch and find them so, blessed are those servants. And know this, that if the master of the house had known what hour the thief comes, he would have watched and not allowed his house to be broken into. And you then be ready, for the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect. And Kepha, Peter, said to him, Master, do you speak this parable to us, or also to all? And the master said, Who then is the trustworthy and wise manager, whom his master shall appoint over his household, to give the portion of food in due season? Blessed is the servant whom his master shall find so doing when he comes. And truly, I say to you, that he shall appoint him over all possessions. But if that servant says in his heart, My master is delaying his coming, and begins to beat the male servants and the female servants, and to eat and drink and get drunk, the master of that servant shall come on a day when he does not expect him, and at that hour that he does not know, and shall cut him in two, and appoint him a portion with the unbelievers. And that servant who knew his master's desire, and did not prepare, nor did according to his desire, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he who did not know, yet did what deserved flogging, shall be beaten with few. And every one to whom much is given, from him much should be demanded. And to whom much has been entrusted, and from him more shall be asked. I came to send fire on the earth, and how I wish it was already kindled. But I have an immersion to be immersed with, and how distressed I am until this is accomplished. Do you think that I have come to give peace on the earth? I say to you, no, but rather division. From now on, 5 in one household shall be divided, 3 against 2, and 2 against 3. Father shall be divided against son, son against father, mother against daughter, daughter against mother, mother-in-law against daughter-in-law, and daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. He was quoting it'll come to me. Micah 7:6. And he also said to the crowds, When you see a cloud rising out of the west, immediately you say, A storm is coming. And so it is. And when you see the south wind blow, you say, There shall be hot weather. And it is. Hypocrites, you know to discern the face of the heaven and the earth, but how is it that you do not discern this time? And why also do you not judge for yourselves what is right? For as you go with your opponent to a ruler, try hard along the way to settle with him, lest he drag you to the judge, and the judge deliver you to the officer, and the officer throw you into prison. I say to you, you shall certainly not leave there until you have paid even the last mite. Come with me to Revelation, Hazon 17. This is the last one. And one of the 7 messengers who had the 7 bowls came and spoke with me, saying to me, Come, I shall show you the judgment of the great whore sitting on the many waters, with whom the sovereigns of the earth committed whoring, and the inhabitants of the earth were made drunk with the wine of her whoring. And he carried me away in the Ruach, in the Spirit, into the wilderness. And I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, covered with names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. And the woman was dressed in purple and scarlet, and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, holding in her hand a golden cup filled with abominations and the filthiness of her whorings. And upon her forehead a name was written, a secret: Babel the Great, the mother of the whores, and of the abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman, drunk with the blood of the set-apart ones, and with the blood of the witnesses of Yahusha. And having seen her, I marveled greatly, and greatly marveled. And the messenger said to me, Why did you marvel? Let me explain to you the secret of the woman of the beast she rides, which has the 7 heads and the 10 horns. The beast that you saw was, and is not, and is about to come out of the pit of the deep, and goes to destruction. And those dwelling on the earth, whose names that are not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, shall marvel when they see the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. Here is the mind having wisdom. The 7 heads are the 7 mountains on which the woman sits. And there are 7 sovereigns. 5 have fallen, and 1 is, and the other has not yet come. And when he comes, he has to remain a little while. And the beast that was, and is not, is himself also the 8th, and is of the 7, and goes to destruction. And the 10 horns which you saw are 10 sovereigns who have not yet received a reign, and receive authority as sovereigns with the beast for 1 hour. They have 1 mind, and they shall give their power and authority to the beast. They shall fight with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is the master of masters and sovereign of sovereigns, and those with him are called and chosen and trustworthy. And he said to me, The waters which you saw, where the horse sits, are peoples and crowds and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns which you saw on the beast, these shall hate the whore, and lay her waste and naked, and eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. For Elohim did give it into their hearts to do his mind, to be of 1 mind, and to give her reign to the beast, until the words of Elohim shall be accomplished. And the woman who you saw is that great city, having sovereignty over the sovereigns of the earth. In a past video, I said that Father had told me that Trump would be for a little while, for a little season. He has to remain a little while. Revelation 17:10. That's why I looked up and I was like, And those of you who know who's in the land, And that star Remfam is all over their flag. Stephen warns about in the book of Acts. The beast rides the whore, or the whore rides the beast. They are one and the same. That's all I'm going to say about that. These are the words that Father had given me. Meditate on them. Bring it to Father and ask him to reveal to you. I love you all, my family. Have a beautiful rest day tomorrow. Shalom, shalom.